pirates.
By the early 1700s, with the Spaniards defeated and the Calusa wiped out, pirates moved into Florida's west coast area to ambush passing trade ships, which was what was then a lawless frontier. After being defeated by the American naval authorities, a renowned pirate by the name of Black Augustus settled along the coast of what is now today known as Black Island down at Lover's Key. When the European settlers arrived in Estero Bay in the late 1800s, Black Augustus eventually befriended some of them, trading fish for coffee, sugar, flour, and other staples that he hadn't enjoyed for years. One such family, the Johnsons, settled on Mound Key. When the pirate finally died, legend has it that they found a massive clump of tarnished metal buried under this Black Augustus shack. You see, pirates often melted gold rings and necklaces into one large ball so no one would be able to identify the stolen goods. Rumors of forgotten and still buried treasures can be heard today. So let's go around the corner and let's listen.
Right. Like most island communities, Fort Myers Beach is an attraction for those who like to live their lives a little outside of society's norms. What most people don't know, however, is that for our island, the legacy is a very lengthy one. Dating as far back as the Spaniards, our island served as a haven for those who abandoned their restricted and often poverty-laden futures for a short term in the sweet trade, piracy. By far, most of those folks were men, but not all. Life for a woman in the early 18th century didn't offer a lot of options. Women that wanted to have more freedom often dressed as men and joined the military. Some chose prostitution, but others became pirates. Such is the fate of two of the most famous lady pirates in history, Anne Bonny and Mary Read. Most people are not aware that these two women actually sailed the waters of our own Back Bay while being chased by a Spanish galleon during their adventures. This is their story. My name is Anne Bonny, and I was born in Cork in Ireland, the bastard daughter of my father and his maid. 'Twas such a scandal that dear old Dad took us off to the colonies, to Charleston town in South Carolina. There he tried to make me a proper lady, but I was never the sorts for courts and gowns. After I taught a lesson to a man who tried to have his way with me, I married the biggest scoundrel in town, a worthless scrap of a pirate named James Bonny. But all I wanted was my freedom. Something I took for myself once we landed in Nassau, after I ditched my feckless sod of a husband.
And I am Mary Read, born illegitimately to a widow of a sea captain who went missing. Through an affair, I was conceived. My brother before me died, and so my mother disguised me as a boy, which is how I came to be known as Matt Read. She tried to trick her mother into giving her an inheritance for us to both live off of, and it worked. So into my teenage years, I remained as Matt Read. I later gained employment on a ship, and after some time decided to join the British military, where I met a Flemish soldier, fell in love, but it was very short. He passed away, and I went back off onto a merchant ship to sail the seven seas.
Once in Nassau, I took up the life I chose, and quickly proved to myself to be as bloodthirsty as any man that ever flied the seven seas. 'Twas there I met the love of my life, a dandy you folk might remember as Calico Jack Rackham, while serving his crew under the ruthless pirate captain, Charles Vane. But 'twas my surprise, when after I swore oath to be part of Jack's crew, to find another lass like myself.
And that's when we fell in love. Because of our situation, women were not permitted on board. It was bad luck. So we became close friends, and sure enough, one thing led to another, and we became partners in crime.
'Twere two sisters of the sea, my merry lass, we took over Nassau town. At least until Governor Woods Rogers came with his talk of offering a pardon to all pirates. As if I'd ever give up my freedom to go back to Charleston and be some housewife.
Aye.
But that Woods Rogers, he caught up with us, And though Mary and I gave his men the fight of our lives, the besotted coward Jack turned out to fight. We found ourselves in chains, hauled to Jamaica to await the hangman's noose.
But Anne and I, we had a surprise of our own. We were both with child. It was against English law in 1720 to execute a pregnant woman. So, the bastards had to wait 9 months before they could kill us.
My Jack, an idiot. He was hung like a dog. And though I loved him, 'twas a fate he richly deserved for not fighting like a man. But then I lost my beloved Mary to a fever while we waited for our children to be born. What happened to Anne after that has become the stuff of legend, for we know only that she was never hanged in Port Royal, Jamaica, like the rest of her crew. Some say her freedom was bought by her father's friend, the attorney Baldwin Summerwood, and she returned to live a respectable life in Charleston. Still others claim that Anne Bonny would never have accepted this fate, and that she manufactured her own escape and lived in freedom for the rest of her life. What we do know is that her and Mary's legacy live on in generations of young women who fought for and eventually won the right to happiness formerly granted only to men.
Yay.